There is a sense of I that literally pervades all your actions. Throughout the day, whatever you do, whatever you think, whatever you feel, anything that you're in the middle of, anything that you're experiencing, there's an I at the heart of that experience that claims that I am thinking, I am feeling, I am doing, I am experiencing. So rather than always keeping your attention on the contents of what this I is experiencing, the contents of awareness in this moment, if we bring the attention to this sense of I, to this sense of me, the spell of being this individual entity starts to weaken. So I want to explain to you what strengthens this sense of individual identity and how keeping the attention on the I sense weakens it. Okay? So the problem here is the fundamental thing that we have to learn through this teaching is that right now, whatever arises in consciousness, we identify with. Meaning, whatever is arising in consciousness, we take to be ourself. We believe it to be what I am. For example, if a thought arises right now, it is felt as this is my thought. We take ownership of it, and we also believe that it is my voice. There's a sense I am thinking. If a feeling arises, let's just say it is a sad feeling, and you're feeling, and the feeling, and it lasts for a while, and it's a sad feeling. You say, I am feeling sad today. The feeling is, you're taking ownership of it. You're identifying with it. That you're kind of becoming the feeling. So see, one thing I want you to notice in your experience is that day to day, what arises in awareness is actually not in your control. It just happens. It's just a happening. It arises, and right now, whatever that may be, you identify. So if your thoughts are pleasant, your feelings are pleasant today, you say, I feel good and I'm having a good day. And the moment that something changes in your circumstances, or the moment that something changes in your emotions or your thoughts, then you say, I am sad or I am depressed. The essence of this teaching is, and I'm going to use this diagram to explain it to you today, the essence of this teaching is to see that what is arising is being observed. The more you start to see that what is arising is simply being observed from a deeper place, which I am already at, the more all these things, like the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, everything, will be allowed to just arise and subside without further identification. And the sense of me that is constantly being, given to them will weaken. The more we identify with what arises in consciousness, the more you constantly keep your attention on your thoughts, the more you constantly just identify your emotions, the greater this sense of individual little old me becomes. Okay? But the more you bring your attention away from the thought, or the away from the current content of your awareness, back onto the sense of me, the sense of I. Now you are just aware of your own awareness. See in your experience right now that when I say to bring your attention to the sense of I, do it right now, and go to the actual experience of what I ask you to do, right? Take your attention to the sense I. And now compare that to the experience of when I ask you to become aware that you are aware. You'll see it's the same. When you are aware of being aware, also, what is just in your awareness is just the sense I, the sense me, the sense now. That is that is your consciousness. That is awareness itself. So when you are abiding in that, when you are knowingly being aware, now what arises, you can say, in the realm of mind, which is just thoughts, emotions, what you call your internal reality. Now it can be seen to arise, and it can be even allowed. It can be allowed to be as it is, without the need to do anything about it, without the need to run away from it. It can simply be observed, without taking identification, without being believed in as what I am. As you continue to be aware of being aware, as you continue to keep your attention rooted in I am, I, now what arises no longer can just pull you in so much. And this is something you have to see for yourself. Only because you forget yourself, only because you neglect that you are aware, and you only care about what you are aware of, which is just what arises here, right? Body, world, this is all your experience, what you call physical experience. And this layer right here is mind, what you call thoughts, emotions, identity, belief. All this stuff is arising, subsiding, coming, going. And the sense of I is what illuminates them, you can say. When you neglect yourself and all you really know, you no longer knowingly are aware of the fact that you are aware, but rather you are aware of what is arising, the contents, then this gets reality. Then this is what is just the only thing that you know to be true, the only thing that you know to be real. And as long as that is the case, also this little person, which consists of these two layers, gets a heightened sense of self. That is what we call the ego. And this now becomes a little more strengthened. But the reality of all of this is being borrowed by your being, your reality, you. So to weaken this personal identity, this individual entity, which claims to be an individual entity, but it has no reality of its own, as I just said, we must bring the attention to the sense of me, being aware of being aware, same thing. And by doing so, as we continue to practice, what arises now has less and less power to pull us into identification. And this process of your being unmixing from all that it is essentially not starts to happen. Now you no longer identify as an objective thing. You see, what arises is an object of your awareness. But the thought arises, you say, I am that thought. You start to be it. The emotion arises, you say, I am that feeling. You start to be it. But these emotions, these thoughts, even the body, are objects of awareness. They are known in awareness. There's an awareness of them. Not only an awareness of them, but an awareness of them changing constantly. So what is this deeper self which is seeing all of this coming and going? That is what we come to the more we simply just keep our attention on the sense of I, being aware of being aware. The pointer is this simple, you see? And this itself, this simple little pointer, is enough to bring this whole thing into perspective. This cannot be understood mentally, you see, because like words cannot go beyond this level. Words cannot go here. Language cannot go here. Thought cannot go here. Thought can only keep you dwelling here. Thought can only know body world, and you can say a little subtle world, which is your mind. It cannot go beyond that. To go beyond that is to simply realize and acknowledge that you are beyond that. Only then do you know your thoughts. Only then do you know the world. The light with which you know the mind, the light with which you know the world, is itself beyond the world and mind. Is your own very self. So by practicing this, the spell of being this individual little person, which is an objective being, which is in awareness, starts to weaken. And the knowledge of self, seeing yourself as the knowing of all this, starts to just be grasped, be understood. Again, not mentally, but just to know the self is to be it. You cannot know it with the mind. The mind can then try to formulate that understanding. However, still, those words that the mind puts together are seen by what? By you. So, in this way, the sense of being just this individual little person starts to weaken. Thank you for watching this video. Now, here are a couple of ways that I can be of direct help to you right now, okay? And I'm going to link everything that I mentioned right now in the description box below. So number one is you can join our free Personal Mastery Quest community, our Facebook group, on which you can interact with me personally and ask me all your questions. I love the community over there, and I do my best to reply to you as soon as possible, okay? Number two, if you have not yet watched my free Ego to Presence Masterclass, in which I teach you how to implement the teaching of self-inquiry into your life step by step and deepen your meditation and deepen your self-inquiry profoundly, then again, check the link in the description box below and go watch that masterclass. It is 1 hour. It will bring you tremendous value, okay? And now lastly, if you want to work with me and my team personally, and you want me to help you dissolve mind identification and realize your true being, then you can check out my coaching program, the Higher Consciousness Shift. All the details of it are down below in the description box. Just click the link that is under section coaching, okay, and it'll take you there to my personal website where you can go through all the details and book a free call with me, and we can decide if we're the right fit to work together. That's all for today. I will see you in the next video.